All right, guys, welcome back to the Nate the Great YouTube channel. This is day 5 of sugar fasting. It is the morning of day 5 for me. I'll do another quick video in the morning and then I'll splice it in the evening, and then I'll add up. If you look up on the screen here right now, I'll show you all of my stats, all the food that I've eaten, etc. And I weighed in this morning at 206 or 206.2 or something like that. Again, I want to reiterate, I'm not focused on the weight. I'm not focused on the calories. Yes, I'm capturing everything that I'm doing, but it's at the end of the day, so I'm just surprising myself at the end of the day going, oh, I ate that much? And again, I know there's a trend. I'm not eating that much comparatively to what I would be eating on carnivore. And I'm okay with it at this point, right? I'm just like letting it go. Like Cole says, like, don't track, right? Don't be that person. Of course, I'm a data person, and I really need to track. So it's just one of those things where I like the data. So as I posted my video yesterday of the compare and contrast, I had a couple more things that kind of popped up in my noodle and I wanted to talk about this morning. So anyways, I jumped out of bed at 5 o'clock this morning, good 7.5 hours, 8 hours of sleep, and I felt like $1,000,000. I started doing all the chores in the morning, and my wife's like, hey, I'll take the dogs out. Why don't you just go ahead and take our son to the bus and then just keep going? So I'm like, yeah, absolutely, this is awesome. I feel like, again, like a kid that's just racing through the forest. And you know, hopefully I can stabilize the phone, because maybe I'm just shaking, I'm too excited. Anyways, I had a couple more compare and contrast, and I wanted to just briefly go over them. Hopefully I'll keep this as short as possible, because I'm going to be slicing in the evening video and I don't want to make these too long, trying to aim towards 10 minutes. So I have two more compare and contrast, okay? So the first one that I was like, immediately after I made the post the video, I'm like, oh, I should have talked about that, was the community, okay? Now, let's talk compare and contrast when it comes to community. Let's first talk about the carnivore community. And I know that word, there's a different C word that you probably want to come up with in your noodle. No, not that C word, you dirty people. I'm talking about cult, okay? Now, I did carnivore for a straight year and a half, and I'm going to continue. You're going to find a trend on this channel. The carnivore diet works, especially if you're really big, and it works. It works for me, okay? But let's be honest here, okay? The carnivore community is a cult. It's almost a religion at this point. And what I mean by that is this, okay? You find yourself on a YouTube channel, a carnivore YouTube channel, or in a Facebook group or whatever, and you just start asking questions. And I mean just basic questions like, hey, my cholesterol is really high. You know, I'm just my doctor's concerned. You're going to find yourself jettisoned out of that group. You're going to be just attacked on the YouTube channel, and people are just going to call you names. It's like, you're an idiot, right? Get out, right? You're done. And to that end, if you think about it, any diet that has no flexibility or no ability to be introspective or to have somebody challenge your assertions, I can't imagine that's a very good place to be in. Again, as somebody that's very data driven, and I start asking questions, and the first step after you ask that question is you've been banned from this group. You are no longer allowed to ask questions or question the authorities in this matter, right? I find that if you think about the sugar community or the sugar diet community, Cole Robinson excluded because he's an outlier, right? He's calling everybody fatties and names and explicitives and stuff because he's just done with the BS. But in the aggregate, okay, there's a lot of people in this community. It's organic. It's okay to ask questions. It's okay to question the approach. We're all just trying to learn and grow and gather the data and understand each other's perspectives and journeys, because everybody has their own path on this sugar diet, right? I am trying to lose a little bit of weight, maintain some muscle mass, but there's channels out there like Vegetable Police, where the guy, he is just absolutely amazing, where he's gone through the gamut, and his whole thing is, you know, the guy's ripped already, he's really good shape, but he wants to solve his skin issues, right? So he has a whole different reason for wanting to do this. And then you have other people like Latchkey, and there's a whole bunch of them out there, right? that are rather large, and they're just trying to lose weight and get healthy. And to that end, there's nobody out there telling them, like, well, I mean, the carnivore people are probably attacking everybody, but again, it's like a tech helicopter. They're like, you know, you can't do sugar forever. Your body doesn't need sugar. It's like, yeah, but our body converts proteins into sugar when our you know, glucose. It's like, are you sure we don't run on glucose? I'm pretty sure that's what happens when you don't no longer have enough glucose in your body, as your body starts to convert protein into that. So, like, I don't know, it seems kind of weird to me. So that was my first like, whoops, I forgot to include that, was the community. I think the sugar diet community on the whole, minus Cole, of course, because he's inclusive and he puts on a persona on his videos, but I'm sure if you get in on a one-with-one with him, he's just like, let's cut the BS, let's just try to get you healthy, right? And I think a community where we're just trying to figure out, okay, where your starting point is, how can we get you to lose weight and get better when it comes to your health metrics. All right, the second piece, the second compare and contrast that I wanted to talk about is cost. Now, I know I talk a lot about ribeyes, but here's the thing. Yes, you can do carnivore on the cheap. Yes, you can. You can just go get some ground beef and just eat 2-3 pounds of ground beef every day. Okay? But let's be honest, that gets stale, that gets boring. Just put salt on everything. It'll be fine. Your taste, you know, how many people out there are like, I love me some ground beef every day. I can eat it for the rest of my life. And it's like, look, I did that, okay? I tried it. You just get bored. You're just like, oh, I just gotta shovel in this fat, shovel in this ground beef, and just be done with it, right? It's just a transaction at that point, right? And so, but on the whole, let's be honest, right? You go to these carnivore YouTube channels, it's like, hey guys, get you some, here, I have let me sell you some premium beef, you know, full, you know, ground, all these beef channels that are just trying to sell you some stuff, right? Or some supplements, or all of the above, right? And it's like, okay, so you go to Costco, you follow their instructions, or you buy their butcher box, or their specialty meat that's only grass-fed and grass-finished, and, you know, comes from the New Zealand Alps, where the cows were whispered fun things throughout their lives, you know, because it's better for you, right? Buy my premium meat, and this is the only way you can do it. Compare that with the sugar diet. I literally went to the store and got $50 or $60 worth of groceries, just like, you know, a couple of pieces of candy. You know, I don't eat that much candy, but you can see on my what I eat in a day that I'm just having some nerds. Like, screw it, why not? Usually just like a pre-workout, or, you know, just something just throw in there just to mix up the fruits and the fruit juices. But the cost, right? This $50 worth of groceries that I had is gonna last me. It's lasted me for almost a week now, and granulated sugar or just table sugar doesn't cost that much. Okay, so the two new contrasts that I want to talk about and that I wanted to really emphasize here on this morning video is the community in the sugar diet is inclusive, it's open-minded, it's looking to just drive with the evidence, right? So if it's not working, I'm sure people are going to go, you know what, I'm going to go back to what was working, and that's totally fine, right? There's no, like, you know, you're banned from the Facebook group. And cost, which is, I find myself not wanting to go to Costco or not wanting to buy these premium meats from these YouTubers, these carnivore people, and to that end, you're not spending $200, $300, $400 extra dollars per week, you know, or month, eating the diet. It's like, sugar is cheap, right? And even Cole Robinson's like, I'm putting myself, he has a supplement, but he's like, don't get this, you don't need it, right? So anyways, I know this video is maybe a little too long, so I'll splice in a video in the evening here, just with a quick update and hopefully keep this under like 13 minutes. All right, this is morning of day 5, sugar diet. I'm out here racing through the forest like a madman. Again, if you have some other compare and contrast of your own, let me know and put it in the comments below. Again, I love the discussions. This is just a brand new YouTube channel, so I'm not expecting too much engagement, but at the same time, if you come across one of these videos and you're like, yeah, I resonate with that, let me know. Just tell me what your thoughts are. I think it would be really cool to kind of compare and contrast your journey. Have you gone to a carnivore, or have you been a carnivore and you start asking questions and immediately start getting attacked? You know, tell me in the comments below. All right, so anyways, I'll splice in the evening video. Until then, see you guys then. Bye. All right, guys, night of day 5 of sugar fasting. Time got away from me tonight. I got home from karate a little bit late, hit my sugar bomb, then went immediately out with my wife and dogs for a nice long casual walk. I'm physically and mentally exhausted. That's a really good thing because I'm hopped up on sugar, so I'm really excited to get some awesome sleep tonight. I'm looking forward to weighing in the morning. Maybe we'll hit a new low. That'd be really cool. A new low, right? Like Cole says. And I want to keep this update short because I know this morning I talked about some compare and contrast, and I was really excited, so the clip went a little bit long, but I just wanted to check in with everybody, make sure everybody is feeling good. I hope everybody had a nice day on their sugar fasting journey, and I just want to say, you know, keep at it, keep up. I'm really excited for tomorrow and just this whole weekend. I think I'm just going to keep it going. I said 7 days, but I honestly think I can just keep going until probably my son's graduation later in the week, next week. So we'll just keep rolling, and I think everybody have a good rest of your night, and we'll see you in the morning.